people's houses. It's crazy.
If you were a real conspiracy theorist, if you're a real tinfoil hat, dyed-in-the-wool conspiracy theorist, you would look at the L.A. district attorney and you would go, what the fuck is going on here? Like, is this a plot to ruin the city? Is this like, has China hired this guy? Like, what is going on?
Between that and San Francisco, between that and San Francisco, taking beautiful cities
wild.
And just destroying the cities.
Them.
And by the way, not doing anything good for the people who are actually mentally ill and drug addicted, just leaving them out on the street and pretending that sleeping on a street corner is the highest form of freedom, and you definitely have to leave their shit just lying around on the streets while they poop on a corner. It's unbelievable. And at some point, you would imagine that people would have to wake up to this. And you see this a little in New York, right? I mean, Eric Adams is a big change from Bill de Blasio.
A big change, yeah.
And you hope that at some point, for their own good, people in L.A. wake up to this. But in the meantime, I'm not going to be there. I'm out. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not interested in helping it. I read this article that called me and Elon cowards for not trying to fix it instead for leaving. Like, what do you?
How's that for both you guys? So whatever.
Yeah. How are you going to? When did you leave?
We bought in Florida last June. So the June before last.
Okay,
before last.
You were barely before me because I started looking in May.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So we were
both of us were like, I see the writing on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was my argument to my wife. So she wanted to stay for a long time. And I'd been saying for a couple of years, look at this tax bill. Look what we're getting in public services. Look how bad things are getting. And she's like, no, it's fine. You're making a lot of money. You pay a lot of taxes. That's fine. I said, right, but we're not getting anything back. And in 5 years, you think this place is going to be better or you think this place is going to be worse? And then you got the COVID lockdowns where LA just went out of its mind and they shut all the parks and they put the yellow tape on the turnoffs off Mulholland. Like people were going to gather on the turnoffs off Mulholland, just mac on each other and spread COVID like crazy in those 3-foot square turnoffs off Mulholland Drive. And so she was already like, this is getting crazy. And then during the riots, when they locked everybody in their house at 6 p.m., you remember this? They just curfewed the entire city at 6 p.m. And then on Rodeo, they curfewed it at 1 so people could just run up and down Rodeo Drive breaking shit. And we heard gunshots at night. We were not in a bad area. We heard gunshots at night. Like they hit a Foot Locker half a mile this way and a Walgreens half a mile that way. She's like, okay, I guess we can check out Florida.
Yeah, once the riots hit, that's when the mass exodus really started. Because when people started realizing that there's this weird idea that some politicians had, de Blasio was the worst example of it, to let the people just break the law and get it out of their system. Like, I don't understand. Apparently, there's some sociological theory behind this.
I hadn't heard that one.
I've heard there's some theory about, and it was a widely dismissed theory from the 60s, and the idea about like letting people riot it out of their system, almost like letting a child throw a temper tantrum. So when you saw people on Saks Fifth Avenue smashing windows and all that, the idea, and the cops were literally told to stand down.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw all the pictures. They burned the cop cars on Melrose, right?
Yeah.
They're just burning every cop car on Melrose.
De Blasio is the worst example of a mayor I've ever seen in my life. He's a stunningly incompetent person. When I see him talking, when I see like what's important to him, and like when he was eating cheeseburgers talking about the vaccine, like you can get a free vaccine. I understand that fries are with this as well. Like you're eating terrible food. This is what makes people sick. What the fuck, man?
There was a running gun battle for the last couple of years over who was the worst mayor. They had like Jenny Durkin in Seattle, who was allowing Chaz Chop to happen, and then you had Garcetti in L.A., who was allowing riots to happen. De Blasio in New York. You had Lori Lightfoot in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's like a running gun battle over who was going to be the worst public servant.
Yeah, I don't know who's better. Lightfoot's in the lead. She's right there with de Blasio.
She's terrible. Well, I mean, she let me, like, all the worst of de Blasio, plus I'm only going to do interviews with people who look like me.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know how you could say that. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And then she repeated
she's only doing it with brown and black people. Yeah. Only interviews with brown and black people, which is absolutely racist. And it's just, did you hear about the gunfight that happened in Chicago where they let everyone go because it was mutual combat?
No, this is...
You don't know about this?
No, I missed this.
I'm happy to show Ben Shapiro some news that's going to make you angry. Pull this up because it's so fucking crazy. One person was dead. I believe two other people were shot. They expelled 70 rounds. So 70 shots were fired on a fucking street. There's video footage of this happening where people were just driving by freaking out. There's a dead body on the ground where a guy got shot. No charges. No charges, because they said it was mutual combat. Chicago's lost its fucking mind.